like that, chasing every storm, like whirlwinds fighting every war, like soldiers on weather to this day. I live, do or die. If only I could turn back time and live those days again. All the failures and all of our tears, the fate throughout the years, get the pages untitled again.
Love that intro. Welcome to another episode of 4D, Def's Daily Dose of Dota. I'm your host, Michael DeFessis Plumley. You can call me Def. We have an excellent game today. We always do. But this one is a little different. I'm picking one from a previous patch, as I like to entitle it, the Push Patch 6.81b. The wonderful patch that brought us TI4 games such as that one game where the Chinese team won in 25 minutes, and the game where the Chinese team beat the other Chinese team in 25 minutes. Today's October 10th, 2014, and we're actually in patch 6.82b now. I just finished watching ESL 1 New York. Great event at Madison Square Garden. Long way we've come from games like these, and the point of today's episode is going to be to look at what I felt is a good bookend for the patch that talked about just endless pushing with characters like Death Prophet, characters like Shadow Shaman, characters like Razor and Pugna, all designed to quickly push down towers and end the game in, as I alluded to earlier, as little as 25 minutes. This game is from the D2CL. It's between, I believe, Union Gaming and their opponent, Pain Gaming, and I think we're going to find out real quickly just exactly which team's going to be doing the pushing and if they'll succeed. Let's hop into the game. While we're going through this draft, I'm going to bring up my in-game program. It's more of a spreadsheet program, really, that I use to analyze some of the games that I've created. It's in beta version. Maybe I'll release it to the general public later. We'll see about that. But we're going to start the game here. And as you can see from the first pick, it is already a Death Prophet from Union Gaming. It's going to be a lot of pushing, as we will see in this patch. But I want to bring your attention as this draft plays out over to here, the def score that I'm going to be using on the left side of the screen. And what I have here on the right-hand set of columns are just popular carries that might be strong against someone. I just picked Centaur Warrunner in this case as our target hero. And just what it means to be a carry. An excellent example I like to go to in the Dota wiki is Critical Strike.
10 seconds
Abilities
remaining.
that stack or at least grow multiplicatively.
Radiant team ban.
You see things like a 2x crit multiplier, a 1.5 on Wraith King, upwards of 4.5 on Phantom
Dire
Assassin.
team ban.
Lycan also has a crit multiplier. These are all excellent carries for a litany of reasons, but also because of their critical strike multipliers. While not that impressive early on in the game when there's not much farm, by the time we've hit the 45-minute mark, we're entering the late game of our matches. You're going to have
5 seconds
extra
remaining.
items, you're going to have stats, you're going to have buffs on our heroes, and these,
Reserve time.
really both the items that are critical strike as well as the abilities that function with critical strike start to grow multiplicatively, whereas a lot of your single
Radiant
target
team ban.
abilities, I like to use Pugna's as a good example, they do not stack. So going back over to def score here, we have some very familiar people on the top of this chart. We have
10
Chaos
seconds
Knight,
remaining.
Spectre, Slardar,
5 seconds
Phantom
remaining.
Assassin. Ursa's also an excellent pick. Ricky as well.
Reserve
Bloodseeker
time.
too. But going into the draft here, you can see something shaping up very quickly for Union Gaming. They're 2 picks in, and they've already spent both of their picks on something that can damage the towers. Death Prophet's Ultimate, and then Pugna's first ability, Nether Blast. Both will be able to take the pressure to Pain Gaming early on. If I'm ever playing on ladder, or playing just pub games, the drafting is really where I like to spend most of my time, just thinking about how the other team is drafting, and what I could do to counter it. This is a captain's draft, so we're seeing a lot of thought here, and we're going to see what Pain Gaming wants to come out in retaliation with. They started with a Skywrath Mage and a Centaur Warrunner, both excellent supports. They're still hiding their cards as to what carries they're going to end up picking. And you know what, since this is a VOD, we could skip forward. We're going to speed it up a tad bit, get through these bans here, which a lot of us, if you're like me and play a lot of all-pick, you just don't see them. It's just not as important, and we'll focus on that on a separate day of the week for Captain's Draft games. Moving forward here, Pain Gaming is up to their
10
third
seconds.
pick.
5 seconds remaining.
I also
Dire team,
like to make
Radiant team
another
pick.
note here. The third pick for Union Gaming, Shadow Shaman. His Mass Serpent Ward, another excellent ability to push down towers. More generally, though, I like to look at the primary attributes for the heroes. If
10
you'll go to the
seconds
hero
remaining.
lists for Dota, you'll see a lot of carries, for example, be either
5 seconds
agility
remaining.
heroes or strength. But one of the core mechanics of Dota is there seems to be a
Reserve
bit
time.
of, and I'll talk about this a lot, rock, paper, scissors in the 3 primary attributes. You'll see strength heroes, and we're going to pause it because that is a great pick right there from the Ember Spirit. You'll see strength heroes like Earthshaker and Centaur Warrunner, large HP pools, but they'll lose out oftentimes to an agility hero like Ember Spirit who has high armor that can win in a one-on-one in battle. Likewise, we'll see agility heroes that although they have a good amount of armor, low HP, and they'll lose to intelligence heroes who are typically casters that do a large amount of magic damage. And then the rock, paper, scissors comes full circle, as we'll see magic damage often be negated by high health pools of a character like Centaur Warrunner. Back into the draft though, we see Union Gaming with 3 pushing heroes. We don't have a carry yet, although Death Prophet functions. And Pain Gaming pick up their first carry. Ember Spirit, a little weak in the early game, but he's going to be able to occupy the mid. And then later on, as he's able to pick up those items, something like Sleight of Fist, not very useful
Radiant
early
team
on,
back.
but if you have a Daedalus, several Battle Furies, it's going to do a lot of damage. Vengeful Spirit, the 4th pickup by Union Gaming, another support. You also gain a stun. You gain Vengeance Aura, which will be a little extra damage bonus if they want to push down towers or
10
fight in general.
seconds remaining.
And you also gain Wave of Terror. Useful
5
if they want to go in
seconds
and fight
remaining.
Roshan with any of the abilities to push down towers, like Death Prophet's Ultimate
Reserve time.
or Shadow Shamans. The final bans are going to be coming out here. I always like to take a short pause and just see what the lineups could use. Union Gaming, they're still lacking a traditional carry, like we mentioned earlier, something with a crit multiplier. Today in ESL New York, I saw several games with Phantom Assassin, particularly from Arteezy. Excellent carry. Would love to see that. Might not work specifically here. We'll see what Union
10
Gaming
seconds
end up
remaining.
picking. Pain Gaming, pretty open.
5 seconds
They have several
remaining.
supports. They have one of their carries.
Dire team ban.
And we'll see what the final pick is. The final ban's coming out.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Oh, we're going to speed this up. I love
Reserve
watching
time.
VODs.
Radiant team
Final
pick.
picks here.
10
Time's
seconds
ticking
re-
down for Pain
5
Gaming.
seconds.
The
Dire
Mirana?
team pick.
Excellent choice. Gives them stuns. Very finesse character, so usually someone on each team that you'll run into, especially the pro teams, will have a very high skill cap Marana player. Landing the full duration arrows is great for a level 1 ability. And Union Gaming could still use a carry, something that will come into the late game and be able to dish out a lot of damage when their fixed damage abilities, like Nether Blast, like the Vengeful Spirit, will start to fall off. They have a fair amount of time. Let's see what they pick.
5 seconds.
It's the Bristleback.
Radiant team pick.
Could be a carry, but more importantly, an excellent frontline hero. And because of that, the draft is complete. We are going to hop into the game.
10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining. Prepare
In the first
for
part of these
battle.
games, I always like to start out with, hopefully, the accurate speed, but more specifically, movements from these pro teams, something you're not going to get as much in a ladder match you're going to do. But always very important for the early game. We see our Pain Gaming team moving together, likewise several people from Union Gaming sticking together, possible tri-lane coming out from them. The early arrow, very ambitious, barely misses off a Vengeful Spirit. The magic missile turnaround. Earthshaker Fissure, though, will probably
30
disengage this.
seconds to battle.
Union Gaming would be a little fraught to win a fight with all 5 heroes already on the board for Pain Gaming in their jungle. Excellent ward will go out here in the dire jungle. Just getting vision of the pull camp. And we're going to see the game start out. For our Union Gaming side, Death Prophet mid, very popular pickup.
The battle begins.
We're going to have a Bristleback in the off lane, and this trio of heroes that we already saw, including Pugna, coming out with the wave. Ember Spirit for Pain Gaming will be matching up against Death Prophet. And in the safe lane, it's going to be a solo Centaur. Most of the action, I feel, though, will be against this tri-lane by Union Gaming. It's going to be met with a tri-lane, a Pain Gaming zone, Marana, excellent stun, Earthshaker stun, and a Skywrath Mage with an Illusion Rune for plenty of damage. We see excellent positioning here from the Skywrath Mage, getting some damage in, using his illusions to damage as well. But no first bloods just yet.
No.
Excellent ward here in the off lane. It will help this Bristleback see transitions from those supports coming in to gank him. Centaur Warrunner has his work cut out for him. That Quill Spray is already starting to stack, wearing off just now. In the early game, I always like to focus on the last hits, since that is really what especially our mids should be doing, as well as a certain number of the heroes. Of course, if you have a Marana, you're looking more for those miracle arrows to get the full duration stuns and ganks off. But we see things are going to be pretty even here at the mid lane. Death Prophet, one of the easier heroes to mid with, is always going to be able to secure those kills with her Crypt Swarm. Up top, we still have tri-lane against tri-lane. Another arrow will connect on our Shadow Shaman. He's down to 250 HP. He has slow movement speed, but the magic missile is counteracted by Marana's leap. No first blood just yet. Centaur is also getting a bit low from the Quill Spray stacks, but he's holding his own. Still hasn't used his healing salve yet. And the laning phase continues.
No.
We see the 2 supports sitting in the jungle, looking to position. Earthshaker did an excellent rub here that you can go right here, and you don't even have to kill the tree. It will pull the camp. They're just looking to contest some of the farm, pull back the lane a little bit. The pull
Dire's
camp,
middle tower
not
is
much
under
going on
attack.
there because of the ward. A little bit of aggression coming out here. Shadow Shaman using his ensnare.
First blood.
But First Blood will fall. Skywrath barely not being able to get away here. However, it's early on, so the respawn timer is very low, and he's already back in lane. Shadow Shaman, however, he got low, 55 HP. Similar situation for the Vengeful Spirit, but it's the death that mattered. Going back to our mid lane, as we see here, very similar last hitting. They're very even. Shadow Shaman is going to end up denying himself just to get back to base earlier, as I mentioned. Low levels, you're not going to have much of a respawn timer. If you've bought an item, which he did, it's almost a free teleport back to base. And he's back into the action. First item coming here. Looks like there's nothing on the courier. Might have been the boots. As well as a bottle coming out for our bristleback. But the tri-lane on tri-lane is already breaking down, we see. I'm not sure they'll be able to do much here with Earthshaker quickly ready to rotate back to assist his Mirana. Skywrath Mage, likewise, has already rotated away, picking up some wards. Hopefully he'll ping that out right there. Or pick it up for his own. As Vengeful Spirit also picks up a smoke and will be joining the tri-lane, hopefully to get some more action done.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We see 3 heroes here. Excellent leap away from Mirana to disengage from the magic missile. Ember Spirit does pick up that double damage rune. And Skywrath is rotating down to the bottom lane, but there's not much he can do against this bristleback. He's actually going to get forced away. Centaur himself is low on HP. He's already used his healing salve. We have several heroes still lying in wait in this top lane. Mirana's just looking to get a little bit of farm here. She's up to 10 last hits. Looks like Pugna will be getting the majority of the last hits in this game. At least aside from our Death Prophet. They will probably attempt to transition Pugna into a core role, but as mentioned earlier, this is the patch that brought us the Chinese TI4 with 25-minute games. There's going to be a lot of pushing coming out soon. Shadow Shaman's ult once it comes online. Pugna's AoE damage with the Nether Blast. And Death Prophet's ult will be coming soon as well. Bit of a defensive ward here. I love this ward. Even if they did secure the first kill, there's still a lot being committed to the top lane. Mirana,
Radiant's
Skywrath
middle
Mage,
tower is under attack.
and we see a double damage Ember Spirit transitioning in. Stampede's coming out.
My ancestors!
Shaman quickly falls. And Vengeful Spirit is almost close behind. 143 HP, she will fall as well. And Pugna is forced out of lane.
Think of it as a new beginning.
So that's a 4-hero rotation, will grant 2 kills. And the best
Radiant's
Union
middle
Gaming
tower
can
is
do
under attack.
is push this middle lane.
Dire's top tower is
Hopefully
under
that's a
attack.
bottle for our Death Prophet, who will now secure the Exorcism. But it looks like she'll be rotating to the bottom instead. They may be able to get a kill on the Centaur Warrunner. We see the Shaman, after resurrecting,
Dire's top
is already
tower
coming.
is under attack.
The stomp is interrupted. He's low. He gets it off that time and should get away to safety. He also has his Tranquil Boots coming at an excellent time. The 13 HP regen will bring him up pretty quickly relative to a lot of other items you can get this early. I believe the Ring of Regen itself only provides 2. Love the Tranquil Boots, as I like to call them, poor man's boots. And things are still in a bit of a lull here after those 2 kills earlier. We see only Pugna remains in the top lane. Both Skywrath and Mirana are being assisted by the Earthshaker here. He attempted to get a pull off here. Vengeful Spirit, however, using the smoke at the very
Radiant
minimum,
structures
will
are
get some observer
fortified.
wards down. and might be able to go in on the Centaur Warrunner.
Attack.
Bristleback very aggressive here looking for him, but smartly Centaur had backed off into the lane. We're getting another rotation from Death Prophet. This is a lot that's going to be committed here,
Dire's middle tower
including
is
the
under
Death Prophet
attack.
ultimate. But they do have the
Radiant's
siege
bottom
creep.
tower is under attack.
They have Bristleback to tank up here. And Centaur knew it was
Radiant's
coming.
bottom
He was
tower
already
has
backing away.
fallen.
However, Ember Spirit will be able to get the rune here.
Dire's
Pugna has
structures
rotated to
are
protect the
fortified.
mid lane.
Dire's
Marana
top tower
instead
is under attack.
We'll use her siege creep to pepper the tower with a fair amount of damage. Won't be able to take it down right now, though. Ember Spirit, using that smoke of his own,
Dire's top
will be
tower
coming
is
into the
under
jungle
attack.
here. He will meet several Union Gaming members. And seeing that, he's already backing off. They might be able to get something done on the Death Prophet here. Searing Chains goes off to lock him in
Dire's
place.
top tower has fallen.
And with Earthshaker and Skywrath supporting, an easy kill. They're attempting to counter-initiate on the
Radiant's
Centaur,
bottom
but
tower
Stampede
is under attack.
very much nullifies the Decrepify. Marana rotating in, along with Skywrath Mage. Earthshaker's here as well. Shadow Shaman very low HP, so he will fall to the fissure.
Back into it.
But a 1-for-1 trade right now, assuming Union Gaming can get away. And it does not look like our Vengeful Spirit will be among those to successfully retreat. A double kill going way up the
You're
Earthshaker.
no great shakes.
And Ember Spirit continues his farm, looking at the net worth.
Radiant's middle
Bristleback had an
tower is
excellent
under
time in
attack.
his lane, but not too shabby for the Ember Spirit. He already has his Ring of Akia. Shadow Shaman already back up. He's starting to max out this Ether Shock. Very helpful at pushing lanes. But still not Ember's level 6 for the Shadow Shaman. He wants the Mass Serpent Wards. Once that comes online, that in conjunction with Pugna beginning to max out Nether Blast, they will start to be able to push down towers. More so than the bottom lane, the mid will be quickly our next target. Ember Spirit has another item coming in. It's a Bracer just to help tank up. As we see Pugna, Death Prophet, and Vengeful congregating in mid. They already know the tower is at about half health. Likewise in top lane, Shadow Shaman caught out alone. Marana, Skywrath Mage, an excellent combo to come rotate through the jungle and secure that gank on a squishy support like Shadow Shaman. But he did secure level 6, so when he comes back online in 10 seconds, he'll be able to join the fight. We have a bit of a fight here at mid. Death Prophet is already using that ultimate to secure
Radiant's middle
a second tower.
has fallen.
Earthshaker likewise
Dire's top tower
is trying to get a bit of
attack.
farm in the bottom lane. Marana had pushed out to the tier 2 tower. Pugna's going to have to port in. And Vengeful Spirit and Death Prophet continue to farm up the jungle. Excellent ward here. This is sometimes almost overlooked. It seems so obvious, but when you do take out that tier 1 tower, just put a ward there. Great vision.
Dire's
Our
middle
5
tower
heroes
is under
from
attack.
Union Gaming in the top lane. And because of that, Pain Gaming will be able to push in on this middle tower.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Centaur Warrunner will presumably be working towards the Blink Dagger.
Dire's middle tower
He's about
is under
900 gold
attack.
away.
Radiant's
But we
top
see
tower is under
what I
attack.
think the end game is here for Union Gaming. They're pushing together as 5. They're using the Nether Blast. The Shaman
Radiant's
wards
top
will be
tower
available
has
soon.
fallen.
And it looks like their target will be the tier 2 tower.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Pain Gaming are looking to trade towers, but
Radiant's
2 for
top
1 is
tower is
not
under
the
attack.
best deal to get. 14 seconds on Death Prophet's ult. It
Dire's
might not
bottom
even be
tower
needed though,
is under
with the
attack.
combination of Nether Blast and the level 1 Serpent Ward.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
You see a bit of an advantage for Union Gaming from the towers that they're taking out. But the tier 2 towers are going to be a little more difficult,
Dire's bottom tower
but more
is
notably
under attack.
for Pain Gaming. However, with Union Gaming's setup, 79 seconds, Serpent Wards will be back on cooldown. Exorcism is already back on cooldown. And Ember Spirit, using the void left here in the top lane to just continue to farm up
Dire's bottom
He's gonna wait
tower
for-
is under attack.
his next creep wave. And we see a rotation coming out from Union Gaming. They may want to flank here into Pain Gaming, who are already
Dire's
low.
bottom tower is under
Excellent
attack.
defensive stealth. Moonlight Shadow used. Earthshaker's, he might be a little stuck here. He could get out if he wanted. He does have a teleportation scroll. Super important. And Centaur Warrunner
Dire's
continues
bottom
to farm
tower
up in the
has
mid.
been denied.
Double
We see a
damage
litany of
empowers
wards
me.
coming out here from Union Gaming. Excellent, just barely on the edge of the other side of the river. They're really starting to increase their vision. Likewise for Pain Gaming, we see almost a ring that will see units approaching into the Roshan pit. It looks like they've missed this one though. Death Prophet is going to use her ultimate. The arrow coming in from Mirana will see Roshan, but this is going to fall very fast with the Death Prophet ultimate, along with the Vengeful Aura and the debuff
Roshan has fallen
for both
to the
herself
dark.
and Bristleback.
Dire's structures
And
are
the first Aegis
fortified.
will go to Death Prophet. Pain Gaming
Dire's top
may
tower
look-
is under attack.
to do something off of that ult. Centaur in the middle of it. The Fissure's going to come in.
Dire's
Excellent
top
swap
tower
there
is
to
under
ensure
attack.
that Centaur falls as well. It's only a 2-for-1. Serpent Wards did have to be spent there. But it looks like our
Dire's
heroes
top tower is under
will
attack.
get away from this. And with that, it's about 15 minutes in. We saw the first team
Dire's
fight coming
top
out.
tower is under attack.
Although Ember Spirit is continuing to farm. We are going to take a break in what I would like to call the end of the mid-game. We've seen a lot so far, but I think what you may be noticing here is all of Union Gaming is really just centered around pushing the towers. The Pugna, the Death Prophet, the Shadow Shaman. And the Tier 1 towers, very easy to fall with nothing more than a siege creep. But the Tier 2s will soon be falling as well, and we may see a repeat of what we saw in a lot of the TI4 games, which was games quickly falling to those Death Prophet ults, falling to the Shadow Shamans. And what now we're going to do is just hop into a break. The game is paused. Maybe a 4-minute break. Until then, enjoy the music.